Hey, does anybody know if the Tigers won? Because I know they would have beaten Minnesota. Minnesota's in last place. You know? Minnesota's in last place. Does anybody know? Does anybody know? Oh! The Tigers got swept by Minnesota. Oh, that hurt. The Indians swept the Mariners. And another hard night for the Mud Hens and the Miami Heat. Oh, I love you guys, and welcome into this weekend edition of All Andy Alfred right here on Clay Fan 2-3. I am your host, Andrew Alfred, welcoming you in. It's Friday. It's Falcon Friday. It's Friday. We're going to get down on Friday. It's interleague action this weekend. Friday. It all starts on Friday. Yes, Friday. It is Interleague Friday. First game of interleague play goes into effect this afternoon at 2:20 as the Cubs take on the Chicago White Sox at Wrigley Field. We'll get into those interleague games just a little bit, but let's break down last night's and yesterday afternoon's action for you. Minnesota gets the win, and they improve they win, and they improve their record now to 13-29 as they beat the Detroit Tigers and sweeping the Tigers in a quick 2-game series 4-3. Walters gets the win. He goes to 1-1 with a 3.65 ERA. Doug Fister gets the loss. He goes to 0-2 with a 1.59 ERA. Caps gets his 8th save of the season. Perloff and Morneau homered for Minnesota. Bosch his 5th. Fielder his 6th, and Andy Dirks his 4th in front of 37,840. Game time 2 hours and 36 minutes. Now this weekend, the Tigers open up a pivotal 3-game series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Game 1 sees the ace Justin Verlander on the hill. He's 4-1 with a 2.47 ERA, taking on Morton, who's 2-3 with a 4.05 ERA. Game time 7:05. Saturday sees A.J. Burnett, the former New York Yankee, taking on Drew Smyly. Burnett 1-2 with a 5.12 ERA, taking on Drew Smyly, who's 1-0 with a 2.30 ERA. Special game time 4:05 in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon. Sunday afternoon will be Corella, who's 1-4 with a 4.50 ERA, taking on Max Scherzer, who's 2-3 with a 6.26 ERA. All games on FSN Detroit. That 4:05 game, we'll get into that because there's another issue with that in just a second. Thursday. Yesterday afternoon, in 11 innings, the Cleveland Indians sweep the Seattle Mariners. Joe Smith gets the win. He goes to 4-1 with a 3.18 ERA. Lee gets the loss. He goes to 0-3 with a 3.12 ERA. As the Tribe wins 6-5 in 11 innings. Jose Lopez homered his 2nd of the season that tied the ball game up in the 8th inning. 12,894 watch it. Game time 4 hours and 7 minutes. Now this weekend, the Cleveland Indians take on the Miami Marlins. It will be Carlos Zambrano on the hill. He's 1-2 with a 1.88 ERA, taking on Justin Masterson this evening, who is 1-3 with a 5.40 ERA. Game time 7:05. Saturday afternoon sees a 4:05 start against Sanchez for Miami. He's 2-1 with a 2.28 ERA, taking on Jemar Gomez, who's 2-2 with a 3.75 ERA. And the concluded game on Sunday afternoon will be Josh Johnson on the hill. He's 1-3 with a 5.36 ERA, taking on Derek Lowe, who's gotta be the all-star pitcher. 6-1 with a 2.05 ERA. Game time 1:05. All games on STO. Now the 4:05 starts. Most major league clubs are going to start on Saturday at 4:05, excluding a few games because the 7:05 games are all Fox games. So they moved the games from originally 7s to 4:05s, and Fox will pick up all the 7 o'clock games, and they'll break it out region-wise, of course. Other games yesterday afternoon, the New York Mets coming from behind and scoring 5 runs in the 8th inning to beat the Cincinnati Reds 9-4. Arizona 9, Colorado 4, Oakland 5, Texas 4. St. Louis was a loser to San Francisco 7-5. Baltimore 5, Kansas City 3, Pittsburgh 5, Washington 3. The Cubbies were a loser to Philadelphia 8-7. The White Sox were winners 6-1 over the LA Angels. Houston 4, Milwaukee nothing. The Dodgers were a winner 8-1 over San Diego, and Miami loses the game against Atlanta 7-0. Now the notable games for this weekend's interleague play: the Yankees are taking on the Cincinnati Reds at Yankee Stadium. Another series, crosstown rivalry. Part 1, the Chicago Cubs taking on the Chicago White Sox at Wrigley Field. And the second series will move to the south side in June. Baltimore is taking on Washington, the Maryland matchup for you right there. Texas is taking on Houston, the Battle of Texas. And Oakland is taking on San Francisco, the battle in the Bay Area. Let's take a look at the AL Central standings for you this afternoon for you. Cleveland's on top of the division. They're 22-16 and 5-5 in their last 10. Detroit is below 500. They're 18-20, 4 games out of first place. Come on, Tigers! 4-6 in their last 10. Chicago is 18-21, 4.5 back, 5-5 in their last 10. Kansas City is 15-22, 6.5 back, 6-4 in their last 10. And Minnesota is in last place with a record of 12-26, 10 games out of first place, 5-5 in their last 10. Now, as most of you or some of you should be aware, next season Houston will be moving to the American League. But that evens up the National League and the American League at 15 teams apiece. My opinion is we're going to see a lot more interleague games next season. AKA, we might see opening day being the Indians taking on the Reds, or the Tigers taking on the Cubs, or so on and so forth. We'll see that throughout the season instead of only the first weekend, the third weekend in May, and the second and third week of June. The Mud Hens were a loser last night. They lost to Scranton Wilkes-Barre 4-1. Ortiz gets the win. He goes to 1-3 with a 4.21 ERA. Wilk gets the loss. He goes to 2-3 with a 2.64 ERA. DeLunkman for Scranton gets his first save of the season. Mostelier, I can't pronounce it. It's a hockey name, basically. He gets his second of the season in front of 5,411. Game time 2 hours and 29 minutes. Now this evening, the concluding game of this series against Scranton Wilkes-Barre will be Bolanos force the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees. He's 0-2 with a 3.15 ERA. He'll take on Bootangi, who's 2-1 with a 2.18 ERA. Game time 7:05. Saturday starts a 4-game series against the Syracuse Chiefs. Wang on the hill for Wang. Wang on the hill, he's 2-0 with a 3.60 ERA. The Mud Hens not have posted yet their starting rotation for this series. Wang is 2-0 with a 3.60 ERA. That game's at 7:05. You can check on the Mud Hens website for their starting pitchers probably tomorrow and Sunday as well, because Sunday they have not posted their pitchers yet. Maya's on the hill for Syracuse, though. He's 3-4 with a 2.76 ERA. And Monday will be a school day celebration game, so we'll be on the air with you to recap this weekend series for the Mud Hens after the Mud Hen game on Monday. That's at 10:30. Both pitchers have not been named yet, but all games you can see on BCSN or on 1230 WCWA. Take a look at the IL West standings for you right now. Indy leads the division. They're 22-18, 5-5 in their last 10. Toledo is in second place. They're 22-19, a half a game back, 3-7 in their last 10. Columbus is in third place. They're 19-21, 3 games back, 2-8 in their last 10 games. It's a downward spiral for the Clippers. The Louisville Bats are in last place. They're 13-29, 10 games out, 3-7 in their last 10. Take a look at the NHL for you last night. The LA Kings beating up on the Phoenix Coyotes 2-1. The LA Kings lead the series 3-0 in that series affair. Now, there will be no games tonight. Tomorrow, Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the New York Rangers and the New Jersey Devils. Both series tied at 1 game apiece. 1 o'clock start on NBC or on CBC. I prefer CBC. And Sunday will be Game 4 of the Western Conference Finals between LA and Phoenix, a game on NBC at 3 o'clock. NBA scores for you this last evening. Indiana beating up on the Miami Heat 94-75. Indiana leads the series 2-1. Come on, Indy. Come on, Indy. Beat those Heat. Beat Miami. Beat Miami. San Antonio was a winner 105-88 over the LA Clippers. They lead the series 2-0. Now this evening will be Boston taking on Philadelphia at 8 p.m. Oklahoma City is taking on the LA Lakers in LA. Oklahoma City leads the series 2-0. That game at 10:30 on ESPN. Recommendations for the weekend. Mud Hens are home this weekend. They're home to play the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Yankees tonight, and then they'll start the series against Syracuse this week on the 19th through the 22nd. You can get tickets by calling the Mud Hens box office at 419-725-HENS or mudhens.com. Also, Toledo School for the Arts presents Death by Chocolate, June 5th from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Garden of Toledo School for the Arts. Tickets are $30 a piece. You can call 419-246-8732, extension 217, 419-246-8732, extension 217 for tickets, or go on ts4arts.org. And of course, yesterday afternoon I went after the show to play some baseball with my friends, and I went 2 for 5 with 2 singles. Nice job. But of course, All Andy Alfred is presented by Pepsi Next. Pepsi Next, the official drink of All Andy Alfred, with 60% less sugar and real Pepsi taste. Pepsi Next. You can't afford to miss this. Until Monday, after the Mud Hen game, I am Andrew Alfred. I hope you have a good weekend. Come on, Tigers. We got to win one this weekend. And also, to the Indians, too, good luck against Miami. Victory is sweetest when you have tasted defeat. And I'm pulling for you. We're all in this together, especially for those Mud Hens that need to get a win tonight. Until Monday, I'll see you on Monday for another edition of All Andy Alfred. I love you, Melissa. Happy birthday.